my brother. You know, I've been thinking about something. We've talked about this. Let's give the people more. Oh, they're gonna f it up.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews, exclusively here as always on the Casa D18 Studios channel. I, of course, am your host, the Renegade JJ Williams, and today we're going to be talking about another film that I recently saw in theaters. By the time you see this, it may be out of theaters already, but if not, highly recommend checking it out. Uncharted, starring Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, Sophia Ali, Tati Gabrielle, Rudy Pankow, and Antonio Banderas. What's going on, everybody? Thank you for joining me here for day 2 of our soft grand reopening here on Casa D18 Studios, here on Renegades Reviews, as I discuss the second film that I saw in theaters when I went and saw The Lost City, which I covered the other day, and that's Uncharted. And again, you know, when I knew I was going to come back, I wanted to give you guys a little bit something extra before I jumped straight into my month of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson movies. So, being as how I had gone to theaters and seen some more current release films, I figured, okay, we're going to do a soft grand reopening here. We're going to give them some of these new releases that they can hopefully still see in a local theater near you before they hit DVD, Blu-ray, digital media, streaming services, etc. So you can still put money in the movie theater's pockets, support your local theater. And so today's film is, like I said, Uncharted, starring Tom Holland and Mark Wahlberg. Let's get into it here, shall we? Now, as our movie opens, brothers Sam and Nathan Drake are caught by museum security as they attempt to steal the very first map of the world, which was made after the Magellan expedition. Now, the orphanage, which houses the brothers, ends up kicking Sam out as a result because this is his third strike, his third run-in with the law, his third penalty. But before he leaves, Sam promises to return to Nate one day and leaves him with a ring which has the inscription Sic Parvis Magna, greatness from small beginnings. We then jump ahead 15 years and we find Nate working as a bartender in New York City, where he pickpockets some of the wealthy patrons that come into his bar. There, Nate ends up meeting Victor Sully Sullivan, a fortune hunter who worked with his brother Sam as they attempted to track down the treasure hidden by the Magellan crew. Sully explains to Nate that Sam vanished one day after helping him steal Juan Sebastian Elcano's diary. Now, Nate, who has received postcards, numerous postcards throughout the years from Sam, agrees to help Sully find his long lost brother. Sully and then head to an auction house in order to steal a golden cross, which is linked to the Magellan crew. There they meet Santiago Moncada, who is the last living descendant of the Moncada family, who originally funded Magellan's expedition, as well as Joe Braddock, who is the leader of a group of mercenaries hired by Moncada. However, Nate ends up getting ambushed by Braddock's men, and in the ensuing fight, he ends up creating a distraction which allows Sully to steal the cross. The duo then travel to Barcelona, Spain, where the treasure is supposedly hidden. Once there, they rendezvous with Chloe Fraser, a contact of Sully's who has another cross. Chloe is able to steal the cross off of Nate, but Sully and Nate are able to convince her to work with them instead of against them. Meanwhile, Moncada learns from his father that the family fortune will be donated instead of being passed down to him for him to inherit. So he orders Braddock to kill his father. That way he can still inherit the money. Nate, Sully, and Chloe follow the clues in Elcano's diary and they end up at Santa Maria del Pi, where they find a secret crypt behind the altar. Nate and Chloe enter the crypt and they find a trap door, but as they open it, the crypt floods with water. Sully is able to help them escape after subduing an ambush by Braddock, using the two crosses in order to unlock a secret passageway. Nate and Chloe find a map that indicates that the treasure is in the Philippines. Chloe then betrays Nate and takes the map, hinting that Sully is keeping a secret regarding Sam. Chloe then brings the map to Moncada, having also been hired by him, much to Braddock's disapproval. Sully is able to recover Nate and tells him that after he and Sam recovered Elcano's diary, they were ambushed by Braddock. Sam was shot, and Sully was narrowly able to escape. Meanwhile, Moncada, Chloe, and Braddock's team depart in a cargo plane in order to find the treasure, but Braddock kills Moncada in order to gain more power, which forces Chloe to go into hiding with the map. Nate and Sully are able to secretly board the plane, and Nate confronts Braddock with Chloe's help while Sully parachutes out. Nate and Chloe are then ejected from the plane during the battle, and the pair land in the Philippines, where they realize that the map doesn't pinpoint the treasure. Nate discovers the treasure's location through hidden hints left in Sam's postcards, but leaves fake coordinates for Chloe after doubting her loyalties. Nate is then able to locate the Magellan ships and reunite with Sully. However, Braddock follows them and forces Sully and Nate to hide as her crew airlifts the ships. During the escape, Sully commandeers one of the helicopters, causing Braddock to order the other helicopter to approach for a boarding action. Nate is able to defend himself from Braddock's mercenaries and shoot down the other helicopter with one of the ship's cannons. Braddock then drops that ship's anchor while Nate climbs up to the helicopter. Sully then throws a bag of collected treasure at Braddock, causing her to fall into the sea, and she is crushed to death when the ship breaks and falls down upon her. As the Philippine naval units arrive, Nate and Sully are able to get away with a few pieces of pickpocketed treasure that Nate grabbed, while Chloe is left empty-handed as she follows the duo, and our movie comes to its end. Uncharted, much like The Lost City, very much one of those scavenger hunt, treasure hunter films in the vein of National Treasure, Indiana Jones, etc. So much like I talked about yesterday, this film was right in my wheelhouse. I love these type of movies. I thought Tom Holland gave a great performance. I honestly haven't seen a whole lot of Tom outside of the MCU and his role as Peter Parker / Spider-Man. So it was kind of fun to see him do something else. Although definitely very action flick centric, it was still fun to see him do something where he wasn't being a superhero, as it were. Mark Wahlberg, another actor I've followed over the years. Heck, I remember Mark Wahlberg back when he was Marky Mark with the Funky Bunch, singing Good Vibrations and Wild Side in the early 90s. And then as his film career has progressed through the years, I've followed him, seen quite a number of his films. Definitely lived up to my expectations of what I expect from a Mark Wahlberg film. Antonio Banderas, same thing. First discovered Antonio in Desperado, and I've seen him over the years through the El Mariachi series, his role as Puss in Boots in the Shrek saga, etc., etc. I thought he was very good in the role of Mercado. Sophia Ali and Tati Gabrielle were both very new to me. I'm not very familiar with either of their work, but I thought they did a very good job as Chloe and Braddock, respectively. Sophia Ali, I thought, did a great job walking that line. Was she with Sully and Nate? Was she against them? I thought she played both sides of the fence very evenly and well. Tati Gabrielle was a badass. She was a good villainess, right hand man to Moncado while he was alive, and then as soon as she pulled the trigger and offed him, taking that step up the ladder to being the main villain, she handled it beautifully. I really enjoyed the film. Again, much like I said with The Lost City, if this film is still playing at a theater near you, I highly recommend going out there, support your local theaters, see it on the big screen. Don't wait for Redbox, don't wait for Netflix, don't wait for DVD, Blu-ray, digital, streaming, etc. Go out, support your local theaters, see it in the theaters on the big screen if you still have the opportunity. When it comes to this flick right here, I'm personally going to give, much like The Lost City, I give this 4 out of 5 stars. Again, I really enjoyed the scavenger hunt aspect of the film. I know it's based off of a video game, but I've never played the game, so I don't have a whole lot of knowledge as far as how close the story of the movie is to that of the video game. So those of you out there that are watching, that have played the game, that have seen the movie, Let me know in the comments what you guys think. How does it compare in the realm of video game adaptations to motion picture? But 4 out of 5 stars. The scavenger hunt aspect, Tom Holland, Mark Wahlberg, Antonio Banderas, the two leading ladies, all did phenomenal jobs. Highly recommend you go and check that out. Make sure you guys tune in on Monday, right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews when we kick off Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson month and we discuss The Scorpion King, starring The Rock, Michael Clark Duncan, Kelly Hu, Peter Facinelli, and others. You're not going to want to miss out on that one right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel, right back here on Renegades Reviews when we get into the meat and potatoes, the kickoff of a brand new month, and the official reopening of Renegades Reviews of the Casa D18 Studios channel on the 50th birthday of Dwayne Johnson. And we're going to start off with the movie that was his first leading role, The Scorpion King. If you want to know what else we've got coming up this month for Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson, check this out.
My brother, I've been thinking about something. We've talked about this. Let's give the people more. Oh, they're gonna it up.
Lots of good stuff in the store. Like we said, The Scorpion King, you got The Rundown, you got Walking Tall, you've got Snitch, you've got Pain and Gain, you've got The Tooth Fairy, Central Intelligence, so much more. Every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, a brand new review right back here on the Casa D18 Studios channel. Thank you guys for tuning in and joining me here for another brand new installment of Renegades Reviews. I, of course, am the Renegade JJ Williams, and I will see you guys next time.